Welcome to Glisten's Culinary Delight. I have an amazing recipe for you today. I love brunch. Brunch is so good. It's so amazing, and I love going to like brunch places and stuff, which I haven't been able to do in quite a long time. But one of my favorite breakfast places or brunch places would be to go to Chick-fil-A to get like the chicken biscuit, and it is so good. But I have a even better recipe than the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit. So stay tuned, because we are going to make the best breakfast slash brunch chicken biscuit recipe for your mornings. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely do so. You can check that notification bell and get any notifications. And let's get started on the recipe. Alright, so first things first is we have the most important part is the chicken and the biscuits. So first we're going to do our biscuits. Now I've already prepared this dough. If you want to know how I prepared it, then you can go to my video here. And it's my biscuit video, buttermilk biscuits, so good, so simple. But these are already prepared and ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to egg wash the top of these. And it's just basically an egg and a tablespoon of water in our egg wash. You're just going to brush it over all the tops. And you have your oven preheated to 400. Like I said, you can watch my recipe, my video, to see how I put them together and to see some good techniques on how to make the biscuits nice and tall and fluffy. Alright, so these are nicely egg washed. Oven is preheated to 400. And so I'm just going to put these in. They're going to go in for about 10 minutes. I'm going to take them out, and then I'm going to put some honey butter over the top, and then we're going to put them back in for another 2 to 4 minutes, and they are going to be nice and crispy on top and so delicious. So let's get these biscuits in our oven. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes. They're not quite brown on top, so we're going to let it go for another 14 minutes, but I'm going to brush some honey butter. Sorry, not another 14, another like 4 to 5 minutes. But I'm going to brush some honey butter on the top of each one of these first, because it's going to make it nice and crispy on the top. Back in the oven for another 4 to 5 minutes. Alright, so now our biscuits are done. So now we're going to talk about protein. So first we're going to do, on our chicken sandwich, we're going to do some bacon. So I'm going to just stick it in the oven. And I just have my cookie sheet, and I have these racks that I like to put the bacon on, because it makes it nice and crisp. All the grease and everything goes down to the bottom of the pan. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay out my strips of bacon onto this pan. And I'm leaving my oven at 400 from the biscuits. And you can do this with as many pieces of bacon as you'd like. You're only going to need like 1 or 2 pieces for your biscuit, but for each biscuit that you're making. But if you want to have extra bacon for later, then definitely do more, because you can never use too much bacon. I'm not going to overcrowd my pan, because I don't want it to get all stuck together. So I'm just going to get this, stick it in the oven. You're going to put it in there for like 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, and so now we have just our chicken breast. You're just going to use some boneless, skinless chicken breast, as many pieces as you want. This could make like 8 to 10 pieces, the mix that we're going to make, but you can just do a couple if you'd like. So I'm just going to put our chicken aside, and we're going to bring out all the rest of the ingredients to put together our fried chicken pieces. Alright, so let's make our dredge. Now, if you remember, earlier in this year, I did make a fried chicken video, and that fried chicken is delicious. It's the best fried chicken that I've ever had. But this one is also really good, and it also works really well with our chicken biscuit, because we're making a kind of unique chicken biscuit. It's not going to just be a chicken biscuit. It's going to be a sweet and savory. So we're doing a chicken biscuit with some apple butter on it and some cheese. It's going to be delicious. So this is a sage fried chicken that you can make. And so if you have made my other chicken recipe and you just like that one, then you can totally make that one. That's totally fine. But this one works really well with our chicken biscuit and our apple butter that we're going to put on the chicken biscuit. So first things first, I have some flour and some cornstarch. And the recipe for this will be down in the description. So I'm just going to put the flour and cornstarch together. And then I've got some cornflakes. And these are not crushed cornflakes, but I'm going to lightly crush them before I mix them in to our mixture. But you don't want to like pulverize them. You just want them to be lightly crushed because you still want some good chunks in there because it's going to make your chicken nice and crispy. Alright. Putting that together in there. And then we just have our seasoning. So we have some Old Bay seasoning that I'm going to pop in there. And then our fresh sage that I just got from my garden this morning and that I'm going to put in there. And I just finely chopped this up. And you're going to put it in your mixture. Now this is going to make it really savory and so good. So then you're just going to mix all that up. Alright, so now that I have that mixed, I'm going to mix up our dredge. So we just have some 3 eggs in here. And I'm just going to stir that. I'm going to season our chicken breast with just some salt and pepper. Add that seasoning on both sides. Alright, so now that you have your chicken seasoned with your salt and pepper, I'm going to dip it in our egg wash. Dip that in there and then transfer that over to your flour mixture. And you're going to want to like push down on that chicken to make sure you get that flour covered. And if you like it extra crispy, you can double dredge it if you'd like, double dip, which I think I'll do. Because why not, right? Alright, so I'm just going to lay it on my cutting board and we're going to let that sit for a minute. I'm just laying these out on my cutting board and I'm going to remove this and we're going to start heating up our oil. Alright, so our biscuits are done and our oil is hot. So I'm going to put our chicken in here, shake it off just a little bit because you don't want all that excess to get into your oil. Yeah. We're going to fry it beautifully. So we're going to fry this for like 10 to 12 minutes and it kind of depends on how you have it. So if you're doing a shallow fry and the top is exposed, you're going to flip it. And if you don't have the top exposed, then you can just fry it all together. But I have a little bit of the top exposed, so I'm going to do like 5 minutes on one side, 5 minutes on the other, and we'll see how it goes. I also have my my candy thermometer in here because we want our oil to be at 350. So you get a nice crispy skin. You're going to want to fry these for 12 to 14 minutes and you want the inside of your chicken to be at 165. So if you have a meat thermometer, you can stick it in. I've made chicken so many times that I've gotten my system down and I know exactly when it's ready. But I suggest if you're not used to making fried chicken, definitely use that thermometer to make sure that your internal temperature is good and it's not raw again. Okay, once your breasts are done, you're going to want to stick them on a wire rack to let them drain and cool. And I'm going to get the rest of this sandwich put together. I'm really excited. So we have the rest of our ingredients here. We have our chicken, we have our biscuits, we have our bacon done, we have our apple butter, which if you haven't ever made apple butter, it is pretty easy. It does take a long time. And if you want to know how I made this apple butter, I just made it yesterday. And so you can check out my reels and you can make that apple butter. And let me tell you, like my house smelled like fall yesterday. It was so amazing and it tastes so good. Homemade apple butter. Or you can just buy some from the store if you don't want to have to go through the whole process of making apple butter. But I do suggest that you make it yourself because it is so good and you know exactly what's inside of it. So it's not all these preservatives and gross stuff that you don't want in your body, in your apple butter. So definitely check out that reel on my channel, my Instagram, whatever platform you follow me on. And then so we're going to put our biscuit together, but first we're going to make one last piece to top off our biscuit. So here I have some white cheddar that I've just grated and I'm going to kind of make like a cheese crisp that we're going to put on top of our chicken. And it's going to be so good, I promise guys. So just stick your cheese into your pan. You're going to use a non-stick pan for this. And I'm just going to kind of put it around in a circle. Alright, so you're just going to let that melt. And while that melts, I'm going to put our biscuit together. So, here we have our lovely, delicious biscuits that we made earlier. And you can go to my channel again and find that recipe. And we're going to make a huge sandwich. So you can cut one of these biscuits in half and be totally fine. I want to make a giant sandwich. So, I'm going to use 2 biscuits. And I'm gonna get our piece of chicken, which is looking glorious. And I'm going to put it on one of our biscuits. Put this biscuit aside. On top of our chicken, I'm going to add bacon. And so I've got our lovely crisp bacon. It really does come out super crispy when you put it on the rack to cook it. So I'm going to just cut it in half so I can kind of stack it on. It's going to be a huge sandwich, guys. I'm excited. Now I got this cheese crisp idea from my husband because he loves to make cheese crisp. He's really good at it, so he kind of taught me something. So as you can see, I'm like, if I flip it over, it's going to be all crispy on the bottom, but nice and cheesy, crispy goodness on the top. So I think this is about ready. So I'm going to take this out of my pan and lay it on top of our bacon. Alright, so last but not least, after we have our chicken, our cheese crisp, our bacon, our biscuit, I'm going to add our apple butter. Now I warmed our apple butter up. As you can see, it's just so smooth. So I'm just going to pour on our apple butter. And there's no right or wrong to this. If you like a lot of apple butter, then by all means, do it up, you know? And then you top it off with another one of those delicious biscuits. There we go. Didn't I tell you it was going to be a giant sandwich? That looks so good. We got biscuit, chicken, bacon, cheese, cheddar cheese crisp, biscuit, apple butter. Can't forget that apple butter. So it's a huge sandwich, so I'm not going to bite into this, but I am going to cut it open and give you guys a look at the inside. And we're going to taste this. Oh gosh, that chicken is just so crispy. Look at that from the inside. So good. Alright, so I'm going to try to get a little bit of everything. This is going to be a mess. But get some biscuit with that chicken and that cheese. And that apple butter, bacon. Oh. Oh yeah. That's so good. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Everything just comes together so perfectly. From the chicken to that cheese to the biscuit and the apple butter. Just like tops it all off. You got a nice sweet dish for brunch, but you also got your protein. It doesn't feel like it's missing anything. It's just so good. Alright guys, I'm gonna finish this. So good. Definitely like, subscribe, follow my channel. We've got more good recipes coming your way. More like this, more easier recipes. And I also have lots of recipes on my channel. So if you're looking for other breakfast videos, you can subscribe and go to one of these other videos that I've got on my channel. I've got some eggs benedict, I've got some waffles, different breakfast brunch ideas that you can make at home. And I'm going to finish this meal now. So thanks for watching. Bye.